Okay guys, it is the day 2 of this, so this is November 4th, and I am really super stoked about my first day with the iPhone 10. First of all, first impressions, the face unlocks beautifully. I set up Face ID, it was very easy, very fast. Afterwards, everything just seems to open as soon as you look at it. It just seems to go really well, and the screen is just amazing. Here, let's see if I can get it to move right there. I had a few things. I used it for payment. I used it for a lot of things, and I did notice that I didn't want to put it in a case. I just want to feel the phone because it has that surgical stainless steel around it. I want to just pay for things, and you just double tap on the button here to bring up the Apple Pay, and you can just, it does the Face ID, it unlocks it, and it's beautiful. That's all you need. So I used that a lot, and I had no problem using it. It just seemed to work really well. It actually seemed faster to me to open up apps and things that require authentication, because as soon as it saw you and you even thought about putting your finger on something, you went ahead and authenticated. Now, I did read that it is a little bit slower. It's like 1.4 seconds to authenticate on Face ID versus under a second for the fingerprints. So a little slower, but if you have face raised to wake, it just happens pretty fast. So I didn't really notice any lag or anything like that. So let's talk about the appearance of this phone. The silver is just a beautiful, beautiful silver. I love it. It almost looks pearl-like to me. And the black I saw in the store as well, very beautiful. If you need a black phone, if you want a black phone, beautiful choice as well. The reason why I went with silver is because I had black last time. I just thought the silver was a beautiful color, so I used that. So let's talk about the features of the phone. It's running iOS 11, so it's a modified version of iOS 11. So if you want to get your control center, you just pull down on that. If you want to get your notifications, you just pull down from that corner. So that's how you use the notch in the front, so it's split up between the left and the right. If everything to go home is just from the bottom here. So if you're into something and you just want to go back, you do that, and you can go into fast app switching or just go home. So swipe up to go home, swipe up halfway to do fast app switching. Okay? So very, very easy to use. And you're looking at the phone, it's much denser and thicker than the other phones. So the first thing I noticed was visually, it's a little thicker, it looks a little thicker, but it feels so right. It feels like it is the right weight and performance, but it definitely feels a little denser and thicker, but it feels good. It is smaller than the iPhone 7 Plus and larger than the regular 7. So let's put this. This is a 6 and the 7, the 6 and the 10. So as you can see, if I'm just putting it up, it's that much bigger. So it's really not much bigger than that. So I really think you can't really tell how different it is when you're holding it. It just feels good. So this is the kind of thing that the Plus owners have always been waiting for. As a Plus owner, I've always wanted the comfort of the smaller phone, meaning I could reach it with one hand and everything like that, but I wanted the big screen. So the Plus has a 5.5 inch screen, and this is a 5.8 inch screen. So you're not gonna miss anything there. You're gonna have just a beautiful big screen and the size that we really want. I think this is the size we were going for. I did read that in 2018 they were looking at releasing this phone, but because of the 10th anniversary, they pushed that up to this year. So I'm glad they did that because we get this phone. I feel like I'm holding the future. I don't know. That's how I feel. The full edge-to-edge screen is a super retina screen. So we've got 1,000,001 to contrast ratio. That's typical for OLEDs. So you're going to have OLEDs at 1,000,000 to 1 contrast ratio. Surgical grade stainless steel, as we talked about. Wireless charging. So on the back, it's got a glass back. You can just put this on a charger. I've tried it. It's really good. I'm going to do a video on wireless charging pretty soon. But I do have a wireless charger that I bought, which is the Mophie, and it works beautiful. You put it on there, it works just like any other wireless charging that we've had with Samsung forever. Finally, we have it with the iPhone. So all you iPhone people, and I mean Android people, you're really gonna, you finally say, oh, we've had that forever, and it's true. I'm so glad we have it now, as along with an OLED screen. So that is true. It's water and dust resistant, so this has the highest rating for water and dust resistance, just like the other phones did. This is better, and I don't know the exact rating just right offhand, but you are going to be fine if it falls in the pool, falls in, you know, in the water, somewhere you don't want it to get wet. It's fine. You don't have to worry about it. I took my iPhone 7 Plus and I took it in the water with me and did a video of me going underwater in a dunk tank at work, so it was pretty cool. Face ID is your way to is your new password. So your face is your password. That is your password. That's the way you authenticate, and that's the way you pay. As a backup, you've got the fingerprint. I mean, you could do the numbers that you have on the phone as well. So if you don't want to use it, you can just go ahead and it'll back up to the number pad. I haven't had a problem with it. I used Apple Pay today a few times. Did not have a problem. I just you hit the button twice to turn on Apple Pay, and you've got Apple Pay. It just looks at your face, and there you go. I'm unlocked and ready to go. Very, very good on that. And using everything was just super nice. You have a TrueDepth camera in the front. So let's talk about the notch. So this little notch is very, very, it was a concern for everybody having the phone. So, you know, you have that notch up front. I thought, well, this might bother me. Actually, it doesn't. It doesn't bother me at all. In fact, it doesn't inhibit watching a video or anything to me. I really, you can enlarge it over the notch, or you can bring it, you know, just using apps and everyday things that you use. The notch isn't a bother at all. In fact, everything seems to work really well. I did notice that the notifications, when you swipe down, your extra notifications that you would normally see up there are when you swipe down, you can see them. If you want your notifications, you just come from there. So certain things will pop up. If you use your AirPods, you'll get the AirPod symbol that'll show up in the corner, and the rest won't. So if you want to look at your percentage, that's one thing that we always do with Apple phones. You would just swipe it down and you'll see your percentage there, but you do not have to set it up. It's just automatic. I recommend, of course, setting your phone up as new. So if you are going from a 7 to an 8 or whatever, or the 8 to the 10 or 7 to the 10, set it up manually. Go ahead and set it up as a new phone. First of all, you're going to get this reflections ringtone, which is really neat. Let me play that for you. Every new phone has a ringtone, so they say, and this is it. So anyway, that's the reflections ringtone. I like it. I don't think it's a problem. I really like the phone, and I like the ringtone, and I'm real excited about the reflections ringtone, because I don't like playing music ringtones, but I do want a nice sounding ringtone that's something a little different, so that you differentiate your phone a little bit. That is really good. So if you are backing up from a restore, if you're backing up from iCloud and you're imaging your phone again, it will not default to the reflections ringtone. You'll have to change it manually. But if you set up manually as new, you're going to get that ringtone automatically as default. So the front notch, TrueDepth Camera that will analyze 30,000 dots to map your face. And that is really cool. Let's do the map. Let's map our faces. We're going to set the Face ID. Get started. It's just asking me to move your head slowly around. And I want you to look around and go around like this and around. And that's it. All done. Okay. So Face ID is set up. So now, if I lock the phone, bring it up to my face, it automatically unlocked. So let's do that again. Notice the lock on the top. Just show it to my face. Unlocked. Okay, so that's Face ID. So, like we said, it adapts to changes in appearance. So if you go ahead and grow a beard, if you change your look, you change your glasses, it's gonna still unlock. You can fool it. I mean, you can fool it. You can, if you put on a Halloween mask or a funny face or something, it won't work. And also, if you're a twin, they even say that if you're an identical twin, you will be able to, you can fool it. So it's not good for identical twins. They can still, you know, that doesn't work for that. So you want to use your passcode if you are an identical twin and you do not want your identical twin to get into your phone. So portrait mode. One of the big things with getting the iPhone X is that you can now do portrait mode for selfies. And how that looks is, you know, I took a picture of my mom, and the background is blurred, and you get the nice picture up front. The other thing you get is picture modes. So when you go ahead and take a picture, you can go to portrait, and you're going to have these different modes at the bottom. So you can switch from studio lights to custom lighting and things like that. You can find out about that more. I thought they were okay. I didn't find them incredibly useful. The first few ones starts off with natural light, and the other ones are really good. I did use one of those filters for the picture I took of my mom, which was really great, and it came out beautiful, and the picture is stunning. I also took a picture in a restaurant, and the pictures were so, I mean, it was the best picture I ever took with an iPhone ever. Inside a restaurant, everything was really beautiful and crisp, and all the detail, everyone at the table, all the way around, was just crystal clear, vibrant, and really good. Anamojis. Anamojis are something that you could do with the TrueDepth camera that does your Face ID recognition and everything. So it's using that with, it's the same camera and everything they're going to use for augmented reality. So, you know, that's what this phone does as well. But when you're using it for the Anamojis, which is kind of, I thought that was silly and not really useful, but I found it really fun. So this is what I did for my wife. I did a cat one. Meow. Listen to this.
Okay, I will do that. I love you. Meow.
I know that's silly, but anyway, you could just do those silly things with this Anamoji. It is really very cool. So you choose whichever one you want, and we'll do the alien because everybody talks like that. So here we go. And you hit record. So it's watching your face, and if you hit record, it'll do it. How are you doing today? Come to my house. Anyway, that's really silly. But it's just so many things that you could do that are fun with that.
Hello. I'm going to say hi. I'm smiling.
Anyway, these are the silly things you can do with Anamoji, which is a total waste of time, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun when you do it. You have 12 Anamojis that you can play with, which is, you know, you've got something that you can use for any silly occasion that you're going to use it for. The camera, of course, has dual camera, one for zoom and one for regular. They have bigger sensors, faster resolution times, and better low light situations. And I found that to be true. And when you, it's because you have the stabilization on both the zoom and the regular camera. Before with the iPhone 7, you only had stabilization on the larger camera, but now on the zoom as well, you have, they're both the same size, 12 megapixel, but on the zoom you have stabilization, which makes a big difference when you're shooting far away. The A11 Bionic chip is so much faster. You're looking at 600 billion operations a second. So that is 70% faster than the A10. The GPU chip is 30% faster than the A10, and it has augmented reality support. So when the augmented reality hits mainstream, we're definitely going to have some things. One app that you can use is to trace, point it at a particular item on the floor and measure, and it will show in the tape measure on the device. And I thought that was really neat, just for a silly thing, but I thought it was very useful. The battery is 2 hours longer than the 7. So I am so excited about this phone. I want to keep playing with it. Should I get a case or not? I just don't want to use a case, but I don't want to drop it. I do have AppleCare on this because I did the upgrade program. How was your experience with upgrading? Give me all these. I want feedback because I want people to. Did you get it on launch day? And what were your thoughts? And what do you see with this phone that I haven't mentioned with using this? I want to share with you guys. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I do them weekly, and I have new things to show. Thanks.